With the recent deaths of at least 7 American tourists and the shooting of former Red Sox slugger David Ortiz, safety is a growing concern for anyone planning a trip to the Dominican Republic. More than 2 million Americans visit the island each year, and the State Department issued an advisory in April urging travelers to use increased caution. The Minister of Tourism in the Dominican says the country is safe for tourism, though, and said the deaths are unrelated.
Fox Carolina's Amber Worthy talked to someone who just got back from there and someone who's still planning to go. She has their advice if you're planning a trip.
Yes, definitely. I think people who are booking these all-inclusive resorts are wanting to be catered to, like having drinks brought to you as you lay by the pool. But a woman who recently traveled there says that you might want to consider skipping that luxury in the wake of these tragedies.
Did it turn out to be everything you hoped it would be?
No.
Andrea Soltis traveled to the Dominican Republic with her family, returning from their trip just last week. Her husband, 15-year-old, and 2-year-old spent time on the popular island of Punta Cana at the same resort where 3 Americans died within a week, including a woman whose family says she became ill after having a drink from the minibar.
It's a shame if it is, and I don't know why anybody would do that, but making sure that we were overly cautious on safety for ourselves and our kids really, it kept us on our feet the whole time. It wasn't as relaxing as we hoped it would be, but we all came home safe.
Before leaving for the trip, after hearing some of the stories of tragedy on the island, her and her husband decided on some non-negotiables when it came to how they would navigate their trip.
Going to go out, we would never, ever leave each other alone. So I wouldn't go out by myself, my husband wouldn't go out by himself, and we would never let the children out by themselves anyway. My diamond ring at home, my wedding band, my engagement ring. I don't know if you can see it, just a silicone ring with me. I didn't take any jewelry, no earrings, nothing. I told my daughter to do the same.
They also decided not to have a drink delivered to them by the pool, but rather getting up to watch them make it. And no room service, as well as always deadbolting the locks in their room. Sally Eastman is headed there later this year, and she's not letting anything stop her.
When we're in the United States, we tend not to even think about safety. We just go out and we live our lives. But when you're overseas, you have to be really careful. And we're not going to cancel the trip because it's our 25th wedding anniversary trip. So we can't cancel that.
She's attending a music festival and thinks that being extra cautious is just a part of traveling.
When Americans travel, we really think that the whole rest of the world is like our country, that it's perfectly safe. And I think a lot of people who go overseas don't realize that they really have to be on guard. You have to be careful. You have to watch your surroundings and know what's going on. I think the only problem is going to be, where do I go for my first beer?
And it seemed like the deciding factor for many is, do you want to have your head on a swivel for your entire vacation? But some say that's just the case anytime you travel, so it's worth the risk to travel to the Dominican Republic. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Amber Worthy for Fox Carolina News Tonight.